Okay, hi guys. I am doing this recording to help you out with the activities for this week. So I'm gonna basically go over to the package. If you guys are online, everything that is here in this package is posted in Google Classroom only because it's posted separately. And then those of you that got your packages today, then this is what you should be looking at. All right. So then this week we are basically talking about economic activities in the Caribbean. And we want to target the three types of economic activity. We want to target the key concepts of development, and then we want to assess resources found in the Caribbean. All right. So then now the content that is here basically explains what are economic activities, what are the key concepts of development, and then what are the different economies that are found in the Caribbean, right? And I do target some specific countries and Belize, of course. So then this is the content that is in your package, and then those of you online, it is posted under week 4 content. So then now the first activity, the first assignment that you guys have to do is to create a graphic organizer with pictures or drawings. So you could go ahead and you could create, you could cut out pictures and then you could create your graphic organizer, or you could go ahead and draw all of the pictures. If you are working online, then you could do an electronic one on Google Slides, on our Google Docs or wherever, right? This graphic organizer will demonstrate the connection between the primary, the secondary, and the tertiary sectors as provided in this example. So now in this example that I'm giving you guys, I do not want the same example, so you have to make your own one. I start with a primary sector example, which is wheat, so it's a crop. My secondary sector is what I can create out of wheat and I can make bread. And then my tertiary sector is a service that um, that has a connection with the bread, which is a store where they sell the bread. So primary resources are basically natural things that can be grown, resources in the environment, plants, animals, so forth. Secondary is something that I make out of my primary resources, and then tertiary is more like a service that is done. So your example should show a connection between these three things. All right. And then tertiary basically could be like a restaurant, could be a bank, could be a store, any of those things that provide a service, then that would work for tertiary. All right. So you guys are going to create this graphic organizer. Now, you are going to do this on a typing sheet. So you are going to label your topic. You're going to have the graphic organizer, and you're going to have these things labeled primary, secondary, tertiary. Under your graphic organizer, then you're going to do number 3 that says based on the graphic organizer, students will respond to the following questions. And there are 3 questions that you have to answer based on this graphic organizer that you have created. So the first question says, in which level of activity can we be earth keepers and practice our creation care for restoration? If you guys remember, the CFRR for this unit talks about being earth keepers. My deep hope is about being earth keepers. And in the CFRR, which is the biblical framework, in the restoration, I do mention creation care, and we have discussed creation care. So then it says, now explain why you chose that level using the example you have selected. So your example is going to be different. But let's say in my one, I decide that secondary is going to be where I am an earth keeper and where I am showing my creation care. I am going to say secondary, and then I am going to explain why. Why is it a secondary? All right. My second question is, which other biblical through line could be represented using your graphic organizer? Explain why you selected this through line. So in the first question, I do mention about being earth keepers, but then there are 9 other through lines that could be used. So your in this question, you are going to look at your graphic organizer, and based on the three pictures that you have selected, you will say which other biblical true line can you use or can you see in this graphic organizer that you have created. And then you tell me why. In the third question, it says, how is the connection between these three levels showing mankind as joyful collaborators? Now, being joyful collaborators is that we can happily work together, right? We are joyful and we are working together. So, how does your graphic organizer show that people can be joyful collaborators? What is your graphic organizer showing that shows that humans can be and are joyful collaborators? All right, and then you just explain why using your specific example. And then this is the first assignment. Then you do all of this neatly on a typing sheet, on a color paper. You can decorate it, you can color it, and then you take a picture of it, and then you submit that with your assignment. All right. I would prefer that everything be done on one sheet. So you have your title, your graphic organizer, and your three questions at the bottom. You take one picture of that, and then you submit that. For the second activity now, it says Earthkeepers of our resources. And this one is that you will be creating an informative flyer about oil drilling in the Caribbean. Now, in this specific package, I only mention oil about in as an economic resource in Trinidad and Tobago. So you would have to do a little bit of research when it comes to this one. All right. Now, I will be explaining this activity in one of our classes, and I will be talking more about oil drilling in one of the virtual sessions. Those of you that are in package, I will be sending the links, and you guys will be welcomed to join the virtual sessions. When I explain in the first session about economic activity, and when I explain in the second section about being earth keepers of our resources and the resources that are in the Caribbean. Your flyer now is one page, a small typing sheet, letter size, and on this flyer, you will include the definition of oil drilling, where in the Caribbean oil drilling occurs, and I have given you guys right here. It's right there. If you would like to research on other countries in the Caribbean that have oil drilling, you can go ahead and you can do that. How does oil drilling affect the environment? And when I mean the environment, I mean the flora and the fauna, the ecosystems, land, water, marine life, terrestrial life, all of that falls under this specific pointer. And then the last one, the biblical true line we should be practicing. Now, oil drilling is positive in the economic form, but it is negative in a lot of other forms as well. So, taking in mind all of the effects that oil drilling causes, what is one biblical true line that we should be practicing, right? Keeping in mind this oil drilling is occurring. So now, this is gonna be done on one page, and again, I want you guys to neatly decorate it, color it, add pictures to it. It is on a flyer, so it should be attractive, calling the attention. And those of you that are online, you could do it online. If not, you can go ahead, cut out pictures, print out pictures, drawings, whatever it is that you want to do your flyer about. And these are the two assignments for this week. And as I have mentioned, I will be explaining and elaborating more on them in the virtual sessions. So you guys can either wait for that, or you guys can go ahead and start if that is what you wish to do. All right. So enjoy the rest of the week. I will be seeing some of you, most of you, in my virtual sessions, and we will continue from there. All right, guys.